one breezy and maybe a pop-up storm by the afternoon.
You're watching 48 Fastcast.
All right, y'all, welcome to the 48 Fastcast. Another mild start, another warm day ahead. Some potential for a pop-up storm today, but not everyone will see it.
Yeah, and you have to also pay attention to what's happening tomorrow. First alert weather day for Saturday.
Saturday, first alert weather day. Threat for strong, maybe even severe storms coming in tomorrow afternoon and evening. Could be impactful to some of those outside plans you may have. I'm going to stress that tomorrow morning is dry and it will be warm, so take advantage of that. I know kids sports in full swing now, and some of you might even have to mow the grass for the first time this weekend. But through the afternoon and evening, we will be tracking strong to even severe storms. Biggest threat with this will be those gusty winds. This is starting as early as noon for northwest Alabama, then progressing from west to east as we go through the remainder of the afternoon and evening. Now, I think we do see a general weakening trend the farther east these storms get. I will go ahead and mention there is a very, very low tornado threat here. Not much confidence in that. I think this is going to be a wind, heavy rain, lightning event for us, and those are our concerns as we go through tomorrow afternoon and evening. Out the door on this Friday, we've got 50s to low 60s. It should be another unseasonably warm day, high of 81 with a few pop-up storms by the afternoon.
This is your 48 First Alert Road Report, sponsored by Bankston Motorhomes.
A Friday morning traffic update. We do have one accident not affecting Decatur, Athens, or Huntsville. In fact, the triangle looks good. If you're in and around Madison right now, there are no delays driving here on this Friday morning. But the one accident that we do have, it's on Alabama 251. This is affecting the southbound lane, Ardmore to Athens. If you take this way instead of go 65, you'll slow down there. But other than that, we're still looking really good here for your Friday morning. Here are your drive times. Decatur to Huntsville will take you 28 minutes. Jonathan?
All right, thanks, Jeff. Well, this morning, American attacks on Iran are intensifying. Qatar's defense ministry reporting early this morning that it intercepted a drone attack targeting Al Udeid Air Base. That's the largest U.S. military base in the Middle East. Saudi Arabian forces intercepted and destroyed 3 Iranian ballistic missiles that were fired toward Prince Sultan Air Base. That air base does have American forces. This all comes after the U.S. military sunk another Iranian warship. That warship was bombed multiple times and then caught on fire. Now, earlier this week, an American submarine sunk a different Iranian warship that was off the coast of Sri Lanka. Many Iranian soldiers were killed then. Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth has said that America is working to destroy Iran's navy.
Well, one Huntsville man whose family is from Iran is hopeful that the conflict will help bring freedom to the people there. John Hedayat's family moved to the United States just before the Iranian Revolution in the late 1970s. He tells us he eventually wants to return to Iran to see where his family comes from.
The way I see it, that the Supreme Leader and all of these other people who were involved in doing this, they have gotten the justice. This is a humanitarian mission. I know that it was said that help is on the way and the help has finally arrived.
Well, Hedayat says most of his family is now in the U.S. He still has some extended family in Iran.
Well, a North Alabama veteran tells us he's in mourning, of course, for the 6 American soldiers who've died in this conflict. Samuel Mash is a Gulf War veteran. He says the greatest pain of war is the death of American heroes.
What would have been? How many children would he have? What have they done? What would they be doing today? You know, what would he have did in the rest of his life? You know, and I think that's a great loss.
Mash also told us that humanity often stands out in war. He recalled a time when a young girl and her brothers approached his unit along a road. He gave the girl and her family some water and said that they held it up like a prized possession. He also took a photo with the family and still has it today.
Right now, gas prices across our area are continuing to rise. The average price for a gallon of regular in Huntsville is $2.91. It's the same price in both Florence and Decatur. These numbers, according to AAA.
What's happening right now, Owens Cross Roads police are trying to figure out what led up to a child being accidentally shot. Now, this happened yesterday at a home near Ed Spears and Hamer Road. Police tell us the child was accidentally shot by an adult. Now, that child is expected to survive. We're also told that there won't most likely be any charges. Authorities have not said anything about the relationship between the adult and that child. Right now, a Madison County man is facing numerous child pornography charges. Jason Wilson was arrested by the Madison County Sheriff's Office following a search at a home near the Moores Mill area. Someone told authorities that Wilson was in possession of that child pornography.
Now to a 48 safety alert. A new platform is launching in Alabama to help better protect your child from online predators. It's called the Children's Trust Fund, and it's run by the Family Services of North Alabama. It will help kids learn the difference between what's real and what's fake online. It's designed to keep them safe from predators posing as children on games like Roblox. Officials say predators have more access now than ever to these children.
There was no access to the outside world. It was you, the game, and maybe some friends that you brought over. Now, when these kids are on Fortnite, Roblox, the games change so often, you know, insert whatever the new trending game is, it's not just them. They have immediate access, if there's an internet connection, to people all over the world.
Now, the program will be taught in schools. However, you can still access the website right from your home.
Well, your children will soon be safer at school. 5 new weapons detection systems will be installed at all high schools within the Morgan County School District. No word yet on when those weapon detectors will be installed.
Well, 48 is on your side this morning, showing you the improvements that are being made at a pair of intersections along McKee Road.
Yeah, one of those intersections has even been categorized as dangerous by county leaders. 48's Matthew King joins us live from where the construction is taking place. And Matthew, these projects need to be finished soon.
Yeah, there's 2 projects being funded by ARPA dollars, which are saving the county millions of dollars, but that's only if they finish those projects on time. There's also another layer to this where they're both being built near the upcoming Sparkman Intermediate School, which is open to students later this fall. So here's where the construction stands as of this morning on these projects. The intersection of Jeff Road and McKee Road has more of the timely focus as the intersection has been deemed dangerous. Many crashes have happened at that intersection, and most recently, a car flew off the road into a daycare. The McKee and Old Railroad Bed intersection is also being improved. Commissioner Phil Vandiver says when these projects are done, it'll be safer for you to drive there.
What's been proven with roundabouts is they cut down traffic accidents a whole lot. You have the people coming in, making the circles. When they do have accidents, they're more of a glancing accident instead of the T-bone type of accident. So that really makes it safer for the people.
Now, when those projects are finished, he said it will save the county millions, but they aren't finished on time. He said they'll have to use county funds to ultimately pay for the rest of it. He says that could be a problem, as that would take away money to be able to fix other intersections in this district. Reporting live in Madison County, Matthew King, 48 on your side.
Well, right now, a man is facing several charges accused of breaking into a girly home that had a child inside. Now, Madison County Sheriff's deputies tell us David Miles broke into that house Tuesday night. Authorities say he was armed. We're told he woke up a child who'd been sleeping. That in turn woke the child's parents up. Deputies say Miles threatened to hurt the adults. No one was hurt. He's currently charged with burglary. This morning, there's a new district judge in Coleman County. Judge Heath Edward Meherg has been appointed to that position by Governor Ivey. He's taking over for former district judge Chad Floyd. Floyd was appointed to the circuit court last month.
Well, happening later this morning, a jury could be seated in the trial of the man accused of kidnapping and murdering Anaya Blanchard. Questioning of potential jurors wrapped up yesterday. Ibrahim Yazid is charged with kidnapping Blanchard from a gas station in Auburn. Authorities believe he killed her and then dumped her body in the woods near Tuskegee. That's the location of where this trial is happening. Opening statements are expected to begin on Monday.
Also happening today, Gadsden city officials are expected to announce some exciting plans for a former steel plant. That plant closed more than 20 years ago. Now the old Gulf State steel plant will be repurposed. Many details are still unclear, but we do know the plans include the creation of 1,300 jobs.
It's an emotional day. It's going to be exciting. It's going to be great to see this company. We just love the fact that they married us, and we're ready to start that marriage and get going.
Now we are told that area schools will also benefit. The announcement expected to happen later this morning.
Well, there could be some changes to your water in Tennessee. Some state lawmakers want to ban fluoride in the drinking water. If approved, water system operators would not be allowed to add fluoride to the water. Now, fluoride has been added to American water systems for decades to prevent tooth decay. Health and Human Services Secretary Robert F. Kennedy has expressed concern, though, that fluoride may contribute to developmental issues for young children. Now, in response to similar legislation, the president of the American Dental Association has said that proposals like this stand to hurt rural America and not make them healthier. Well, 7:10 this morning, and by this time next year, you could enjoy some new exhibits at the U.S. Veterans Memorial Museum here in Huntsville.
Yeah, crews are working to expand that museum. 48 Sarah Grace Kennedy joins us now live in front of that construction site. And Sarah Grace, this building will showcase some new war exhibits for people to enjoy.
Well, there will be never-before-seen war items displayed at this new building. There just wasn't enough room to display those items at the current facility, but that current facility will still stay open once this building is complete and open to the public. Museum Deputy Director Scott Thompson tells me they still need to raise money for 5 full-size dioramas. Those dioramas will include a Civil War battle scene, a World War I trench, and a Vietnam River Patrol boat. The new building will also have more exhibits on Desert Storm, Desert Shield, Iraq, and Afghanistan. Thompson says it's important to honor the bravery of our veterans.
I'm a Desert Storm vet, I'm an Iraq vet, I'm an Afghanistan vet, and there's lots of people here in the community that participate in those. So we think that that's very important. We don't do those conflicts justice in our current display, and we're going to make sure that we do that with the new museum.
The new museum will also include a larger section for Civil War, and it's expected to be complete by February of 2027. Live in Huntsville, Sarah Grace Kennedy, 48 on your side.
Tomorrow is a 48 First Alert Weather Day, sponsored by Mr. Reuter Plumbing for all your emergency plumbing services.
Well, good morning, everyone, and happy Friday. Saturday is a 48 First Alert Weather Day, and this is as a cold front moves in. This cold front will trigger scattered to numerous strong to maybe even severe storms through the afternoon and evening. Still anticipating some rounds of rain and maybe some thunder on Sunday. Sunday will not bring a threat of strong to severe storms, and even today, can't rule out a pop-up shower. But today is a great Friday. Could see that isolated shower chance for the afternoon, but 81 degrees, breezy. It's been a fantastic week of March weather, but that does start to change as we go into Saturday as that cold front comes in. Could pick up anywhere from a half an inch to an inch or more of rain. Here's today bringing that mix of sun and clouds with a chance at some isolated storms by the afternoon.
Eric, thank you. Well, you have a chance to learn how to protect yourself from scammers, when and where you can do this after the break.
Well, there could soon be some changes to how the state distributes the sales tax that you pay when you shop online. Just last month, local governments across the state, including Madison, dropped their lawsuit over the simplified seller's use tax. That tax is collected from online businesses who have companies headquartered in other states like Amazon. A portion of that tax revenue is collected and then given to Alabama cities and counties. Now, how much each city and county receives is based on population. Now, a new bill would open the door for more frequent assessments of population data to make sure each local government is receiving the money it deserves.
It shows good faith and shows the public that we can and will work together to get this solved.
Adjusting it every year would be something we couldn't agree to, but really we've moved from a 10-year window to a 5-year window.
And the bill says population assessments will be determined using U.S. Census data.
Alabama schools may soon be required to play the national anthem in classrooms due to a new bill. The Senate recently passed a measure that would require public schools to play the Star-Spangled Banner once a week. The bill sponsor says currently the only time students in public schools hear the national anthem is during high school football games. He says the bill gives schools the option on when and how to play it.
Each Board of Education will develop a policy, very simple rules down, I would think. So they'll have the opportunity to develop some policies in there where it can, have students to sing it. They can go to the library of the Smithsonian Institute.
If the House passes the bill and Governor Ivey signs it, you'll be able to vote on the measure in November. Well, right now, state leaders are working to address Alabama's ongoing teacher shortage by making it easier for veterans to teach. A new law will allow vets without teaching certificates to become educators. Those veterans must have 48 months of service and at least 60 college credit hours. They must also be recommended by a local superintendent. One veteran advocate we spoke with says this will help our nation's heroes help others once again.
This is a better program, and 60 credit hours, that's relatively quick to get. A lot of service members come out of the military with close to or over 60 hours. Veterans bring an element of leadership. Veterans spend a lot of time not only being trained, but also training others. I think this is a great opportunity for veterans.
These teaching certificates are not permanent. They will expire after 5 years.
Well, you have a chance in the next few weeks to learn how to better protect yourself from potential scammers. The Morgan County Sheriff's Office is hosting several scam prevention classes. This comes after a Morgan County resident was recently scammed out of more than $200,000. Sheriff Ron Puckett says it's important to be careful, especially as these scams become more and more complex.
They're going to know your name. They're going to probably know your children. They might even know where you bank because they've done their homework. So they're going to make it sound like they are legit. But if you have to leave your house, or if you have to give them your banking account information or credit card information over the phone and they're asking for that, you're not calling them, it is a scam.
Now, these classes are happening throughout March and early April at different senior centers across the county. You can find a full list of them on our website, WAFF.com. Also this morning, Sheffield Mayor Brian Vandevender is easing back into his duties this week after a health scare. The mayor suffered a brain aneurysm last month and spent over a week in the intensive care unit at Vanderbilt Hospital. Now, he'll be going to Washington, D.C. tomorrow to discuss getting federal funding for the city. Our media partners at the Times Daily report he's expected to start working full-time again later this month.
Tomorrow is a 48 First Alert Weather Day, sponsored by Mr. Rooter Plumbing for all your emergency plumbing services.
Saturday is a 48 First Alert Weather Day for the threat of strong to maybe severe storms developing through the afternoon and evening. I really want to stress, though, that tomorrow morning will be dry. It'll be a warm start, cloudy, a little bit breezy at times, but the storm threat does begin to increase as we go into the afternoon, starting as early as noon, but probably looking more of a 2 p.m. arrival time for northwest Alabama. And this is potentially when these storms are going to be at their strongest. Potential for damaging wind gusts, heavy rain, lightning, maybe even some hail. I'll mention very low confidence in this, but there's a small, brief tornado threat, especially for areas west of I-65. The farther east these storms move, we will see a general weakening trend. Still a lot of heavy rain, lightning, and gusty winds. That will wrap up Saturday evening, overnight into Sunday. Sunday will bring some periods of rainfall, maybe some thunder. We are not forecasting severe storms on Sunday, but the pattern does stay busy into next week as well.
Well, still to come, the kitchen cops are back. What local restaurants scored well and which ones need to step up their game. Welcome back. The Kitchen Cop scores for the week are in and we're ready to serve them up.
Yeah, well, here's a look at who missed the mark around the Tennessee Valley. Now, the lowest score this week are in Marshall County. China Buffet in Boaz has a 71 due to an employee seen touching food without gloves. There were also several food temperature violations, chemicals not being stored properly, and a dirty can opener.
Now, a coffee shop in Decatur, a barbecue joint on Jeff Road, and a Huntsville-based food truck are just some of the perfect 100 scores this week. A job well done for Jane Doe's Coffee, Lawler's Barbecue, and Fresh Made Grill. You can see hundreds of other scores right now on the 48 News app and on our website. Well, this morning, part of the Huntsville Museum of Art has been renamed. The museum's Art Academy will now be known as the Eisenberg Art Academy. It's named after Hank Eisenberg, who recently donated $1 million. Eisenberg says he hopes the donation will bring in more visitors. He says Huntsville has an underrated art scene with a lot of different things to enjoy.
Well, Huntsville's known for all the great technology we do, the engines, the spaceships, the Army aviation. I think the city is doing great things in leaps and bounds, but I think we have to also bring the arts and the music.
Well, right now, the longest running film festival in the state has begun. It's the 29th year for the George Lindsay UNA Film Festival. Now you can see some new films, talk with the directors and actors in them as well, and there will be student movies that are shown. Now we spoke with two UNA alums who just had their first film debut last night. They tell us what makes it so special.
It's preserved. People will continue to rewatch it and learn something new from it. And
it's also just, I think a lot of people in this area it's such a great opportunity to expand your awareness of the world around you, and not a lot of places in Alabama have that opportunity.
All events for this festival are free and it runs through tomorrow night.
Well, check this story out. A group of Florence firefighters spent the day reading to some kids at Harlan Elementary. The children also got the chance to explore the inside of a fire truck.
Tomorrow is a 48 First Alert Weather Day, sponsored by Mr. Rooter Plumbing for all your emergency plumbing services.
All right, good morning once again, everyone. Strong to severe storm threat, mostly for gusty wind potential. Heavy rain and lightning coming Saturday from noon to 8. The morning hours should be dry, but this is for all of North Alabama and Middle Tennessee. Here's our timeline for now. You could see some slight movement in this. Meteorologist Jeff Denoyer working tomorrow morning. He'll have the very up-to-date timeline for you, but right now going noon to 4. This yellow area potentially has a higher chance of seeing those severe storms. I think we see a general weakening trend the farther east those storms move tomorrow afternoon and evening, but north central Alabama I-65 2 to 6, and then we've got 4 to 8 for northeast Alabama. So things will be winding down. This is thankfully not an overnight event, but it does line up with your weekend, and a lot of you have plans. Let's talk about your Friday. Good looking day right there. Partly cloudy, maybe mostly cloudy at times. High temperatures in the low 80s and breezy. We're expecting some periods of showers and maybe some rumbles of thunder on Sunday. Sunday is also the beginning of daylight saving time, and we've got even more chances for rain and potentially some storms as we go into early next work week.
So remembering on Sunday to spring forward.
We are springing forward, yes.
Sounds good. Good.
Losing an hour of sleep, but at
Yes,
least
that too.
the sun stays out later, so we get that.
The good and the bad.
Pros and cons.
Yeah, summer's on the way, my friends. All right, have a good rest of your day. We'll be on air with more news, weather, and traffic, so keep it on air.